Hello again. I want to talk about neoteny in this video. So neoteny is the process of retaining juvenile traits into adulthood. The reason I want to talk about this is in humans, we see that humans have an increased brain capacity and a long prepubescent period of like 11 to 13 years compared to most animals or primates that have maybe 1 or 2 years. Humans have a much longer period of pre-puberty. So puberty is the age when it's probably safe to say you could kick a child out at puberty and they would be able to look after themselves. Before that stage, they're probably going to struggle looking after themselves in the wild. In most other primates, they have a short period of prepubescence when they're kept in the home or the nest, and then they're kicked out, or they join the other males if they're a male, or they join the other women, the other females if they're a female, and have babies. In humans, we find the larger head, which correlates to the body of the child or a juvenile of all primates. All primates, children have a larger head and a smaller body. So this has been retained in humans, which gives us a larger brain capacity, because as the ratios of the body grow, in other primates the body gets longer and longer and the head gets smaller and smaller. Whereas in humans, the proportions of the body grow like this. So the body stays a similar size to the head, in ratio to the head, from the age of, say, 1 up to about the age of 11 or 12, and then you start seeing the body stretch out and the head gets a bit smaller. But that 11-year period enables the brain to maintain a large size in proportion to the head and the body, which gives us a larger brain than all the other primates. And so this is what you'd call neoteny, or the pedomorphic retention, the retention of juvenile traits into adulthood. Some of the other traits in humans that we find that are pedomorphic are blue eyes, which is something that baby mammals have at birth, newborns have. Pink skin, which again is something that newborn mammals have. And blonde hair. So we have blue eyes, blonde hair and pink skin. These are all the traits of Caucasians. So basically Caucasians are like big babies, which could explain why in the past they've been treated like gods, or like babies, or something who needs to be looked after or nurtured. They've released an instinct in other people at various times that's made those other people feel like they need to look after these blonde-haired, blue-eyed, white-skinned big babies. And someone like Boris Johnson is a classic example of it. He's got pale hair, pale skin, blue eyes, and he pretty much can get away with what he wants. People think he's a bumbling buffoon. He's not. He's a very clever, cunning person. To be able to, anyone who can get themselves in the position of power that he's got into prime minister of a country, not just any old country, but one of the most influential countries in the world, is obviously a very cunning person, but most people think of him as a bit of a buffoon or a giant baby or something like that. Donald Trump is another example of it. The number of people you see referring to Trump as a giant baby, even the big blow-up baby they had in the London demonstrations, so they think of these people as bumbling buffoons or babies, but they're not. They're very intelligent people. It's just that their whole look releases an instinct in everybody else to nurture them, and this is an instinct that lots of people on the left have pushed into their shadow, and so they try to resist the urge to nurture these people, and it pushes them into overdrive, which is why they act irrationally around these blonde-haired, blue-eyed, pale-skinned people, because really, if they was to this doesn't I mean this in all seriousness, if they was to look inside themselves, they'll probably find that there's something about those people that they envy, and that's really what's going on.